Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Rao here. So, I was entertaining some questions on the program I did this morning. So, I thought I will answer some questions and I'll share them to the friends who are interested. As you know, we were doing what we call proactive wellness. How can we incorporate into our daily life some proactive measures to guard our wellness and to be in wellness, to enjoy life in wellness? That is the ultimate goal. As I told you, I am sick of seeing illness all around. We will treat you when you are ill, that's there. But do we have to be ill or chronically ill and continues to be going downhill? Certainly not. We are scientifically progressed and we have so much ancient wisdom that can keep us very well for a long time and in joy. That's what I believe. I kind of learned as a physician, as a healer, as a yoga person. So I am living very well at 71 years, and I want my friends to have that luxury also. It's really not luxury in the sense, but if you do them properly, we all have a right to be well and to be not suffering. So, from my talk this morning, I've encouraged people to ask me questions and some basic questions like what exactly is PAW? PAW, proactive wellness. Is it a philosophy, a program, or a health system? That was the question. See, PAW is a philosophy, program, and system ecology. It is both a mindset and a deployable wellness operating system for individuals and also organizations. Right? That is the first question. So it's a question, it's a kind of a program where you assess yourself with existing tools or with common sense or with the signals that are coming from your body and mind and your state of mind, state of efforts, and then you look to ways that could help you. Okay, so it's a ongoing education, ongoing awareness program. Okay, so it's a mindset and a deployable wellness operating system. So from that wellness operating system, be it be diet, exercise, sleep, or mind, any of those pillars that you want to maintain, you have a lot of information out there, and you could use that. And you could also consult people like me who are interested in preventing disease and encouraging wellness and maintaining the wellness. That's what the ancient people did. They were very close to nature and they can now maintain their wellness throughout the life. They were brought into the world with a stabilized constitution, which they call prakruti. That is the nature. Naturally, you are healthy. And with our lifestyles, maybe we ate something wrong, or we were stationary, or we were not keeping our mind quiet, things like that, right? They are happening to us even now. Or we don't sleep properly. Whatever the lifestyle that has a kind of disturbed our natural constitutional state, which we call prakriti. That prakriti is kind of disturbed, they called vikruti. Then they were able to correct them with natural methods. So that's what we are trying to do here. Okay. Now, why do we need PAW when healthcare already exists? That's a very common question. See, healthcare treating illness, whereas PAW, the proactive wellness I'm talking about, that prevents illness and also strengthens the human system, adds vitality, cognition support, emotional coherence, and spiritual clarity, not just symptom control. Okay, that's why we need the PAW apart from the healthcare system we have, because the healthcare system has this time only for the treatment of illness. It does address preventive once a year, But that's not enough. My thing is you have to be preventive every day with everything that you do. And that's why I kind of designed the system where you can be in charge of what's going on with your diet, with your exercise, with your sleep patterns, and with how you keep your mind. Okay. So all that can be controlled. Okay. Really is a question of awareness. And the other question I got was, is this power scientifically validated or spiritually inspired or both? See, power is spiritually inspired but scientifically framed. Its roots are ancient wisdom, self knowledge, yogic awareness, and all that, while its proof layer uses modern metrics. What do we experience? The joy and energy and the clarity. We can really measure that with the wearables, measure our blood pressure, vitals, and all that, oxygen saturation, and HRV, heart rate variation, and sleep. Sleep also can be measured, how deep you have slept, and the focus and retention. All these things can be measured by the modern metrics. Okay, we can test patients and then establish that too. So this is like a spiritually inspired human spirit is that we can be kind and compassionate and really self-realized, whereby you become less of stressed, and then stress hormones are released, thereby you are really healthy, and you can measure that improvement of your health. Okay. Now then the next question came, who should adopt power fast, individuals or doctors or companies or governments? Who should adapt them first? See, PAW, proactive wellness, PAW, I made it a PAW, okay, is spiritually inspired, right? But it begins with individuals. Then clinicians. Clinician is also an individual too. He has to bring in his professional knowledge, but also this commonsensical guidance by his own body and mind. A lot of clinicians are not taking care of themselves. There is no self-care. That's why they become stressed and burn out, right? And I'm treating them. So it should start with individual, whether you are a clinician or not, and also clinicians themselves, and then the whole system, and then the soil. So we are spoiling the planet with all sorts of things, right? So we can have it. So personal transformation is the first adoption milestone before organizational deployment. That is how this is envisioned. Hopefully, some people will take it up and take that to their society, take that to families, take that to organizations, and then I working with health systems probably they have some elements they will take up and employ them too. Okay, that's the fourth question. The fifth question is, how is PAW different from mindfulness, wellness apps, or preventive medicine? See, see, it differs from all these generic mindfulness or wellness apps by being layered, purpose aligned, and ecology based systems. So it integrates body, breath, and then decision intelligence, because you don't want to sleep on these things, you want to be aware of them, right? Um, and self service and service to other people and planetary health, not just a mental relaxation. Okay, thereby we improve our society, our planet, and everything. Now the sixth question is, uh, I'm only going to do 10 questions that I got. Sixth question is, how do I start PA if my body is fine, I'm athletic, I'm strong, and all that, but my mind is stressed. That is the major complaint when many of our modern minds, right? So if your body is strong, but the mind is stressed, you enter at the mind kosha. Work with the mind, not the body kosha. You enter there, and then the proactive wellness customizes the path to the weakest noisy layer. You kind of follow what I suggested: be awareness in the morning, attention during the day, and then vacate the mind in the night. And also, you really take deep breaths and calm your mind down. And also, you practice calming the mind twice a day. All those things that I mentioned you this morning. Okay, like that, the questions may be with any other layer. That's fine. But for now, that was the question. How do you handle the mind? Then the seventh question that people sent me was, can PAW help chronic illness? Or is it only for healthy people who want to optimize? Yeah, you can optimize your health and wellness, but even if you have chronic illnesses, you can mm, you can help yourself. PAW helps chronic illness by calming physiology through breath, attention, and real food, and also identity shift. You don't identify your body and mind as you, but you are the underlying inner spirit, right? So it does not replace medicine, but strengthens outcomes and adherence. So chronic illness may require less medication. Chronic illness may not be that intensive, may not go to complications. Okay, that is one of the main complaints I have about American medicine and Westernized medicine. They don't really do a good job on the chronic illness. It's not only the numbers are increasing, but the number of chronic illnesses people have is increasing too. And apart from that, mental illness has become a chronic illness too nowadays. Okay, so that is how do you measure the progress of this? What are the things that you have real markers? That's the other question. See, if you take the body, like I showed you, grip strength and the mobility with the range of motions, with all you, and also how much sleep you have, how sleep integrity quality you have. Those are the measurable things that you could himself check whether you are having that nice layer or not. When it comes to breath, you can see your heart rate variability is decreasing, and you can see your reaction is going down because of the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, and oxygen efficiency is improved because of the deep breath recruits more oxygen into your system. When you turn to the mind, whatever that you are doing with all these practice, wellness practices of keeping calm and then breathing deep and also paying attention to one at a time, that kind of improves your reaction latency. That means you don't react right away. You will react later. That's the latency. It increases, right? And also focus span increases too because you are paying only one attention. The more you are attentive to one thing, the more you are attentive to everything. Your span will increase that way, And also, normally, people react and they produce a lot of cortisol. But this one, cortisol override events are there, and then you notice them. And when it comes to the wisdom, the insight, you have more clarity in your decisions, and you have emotional override reduction. Because you don't have to do such, you're placid, you are calm, you're quiet. Okay, and when it comes to your inner self, then you will see once you are established in that, you will have thought-free windows. Basically, awareness. Awareness means you are aware, awake, but you are not having thoughts. So it's a thought-free state, really. And then you have so many ways of showing compassion to other people who are suffering from other things, right? And also, you yourself will see reduction of the fear. So, does PAW add to the stress because it is practiced with lightness, with silence and service? It is integrated into life, so not imposed on life. So it should not add stress, but it should be much better. Okay. And the last one is to clinicians. Okay, see the how clinicians, corporate boards trust PAW without seeing measurable outcomes. Yeah, it's a question of common sense, right? So proof is through the data, you know. So, but transformation is through awareness. Hi, Laura. Welcome.
Dr. Rao, hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Just thought I'd come and say hi and thank you for showing up on a day where there's not so many people dedicating time to hosting an Umba talk.
Yeah,
And I'm grateful for those who are.
yeah,
And that's a topic that I'm highly interested in for active wellness.
yeah.
And my question for now would be um, how to how to naturally bring my blood pressure to be closer to healthier
Yeah.
markers.
Yeah, very common question, Laura, because many people have this ability now to monitor your blood pressure on a continuous basis, right? So you have wearables, Apple Watch or any other wearable, and you can also have a continuous blood pressure monitoring done, and then take the data and interpret what kind of elevations you have. Suppose you have blood pressure of 120 and suddenly jumps to 150, that's what we call rate of rise of blood pressure. That is sudden, you have risk of having a stroke. Is that serious? But other people may be having high blood pressure continuously, aggravated by certain mental events or some emotional events, or their diet and all that. So you will understand more about what is triggering this blood pressure. Or do I have some kidney problem, liver problem, all that? It's more like a more insight into what's going on with you, and then you can interpret with medications or with relaxation exercises or avoiding all the things that are a lot of people don't understand. The salt intake can increase the blood pressure. They miss that. So we kind of replace that, and then we kind of help them to have a low salt diet and also rest, and don't take everything serious. Let it go. This too shall pass. That kind of attitude. Just by adjusting our diet, our activity, our relaxation method, and also really adjusting to the life situation, people reduce the blood pressure significantly. Otherwise, they are driven by all these external goals, right? People want us to do that, do this. If you don't do that, you're going to have a failure and all that kind of culture. So you kind of understand that and say, okay, I'm going to do what I like to do, what I can do, but I'm not going to be stressed about it. That kind of attitude will happen. This is something that you can do at your own personal level, right? And then you
Right.
submit the data with your practitioner, with your doctor, and then decide which way you want to go. Combination of modern medications and also some lifestyle changes.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
And also, can I ask you a question that's a little bit, just
yeah,
a little bit more personal about your own way of eating?
yeah.
Do you eat vegetarian, vegan? Do
Yeah,
you
I'm
eat
a
meat?
vegetarian, Laura. That's not big deal
Okay.
because ancient Ayurvedic system has used food as medicine. So the more I understood modern way of eating is really messed up. We know that. So we kind of reduce all the artificial. I drink only water. I don't drink soda or Coca-Cola or alcoholic products, anything like that. I eat vegetables and fruits and also grains that are made in Indian style with sometimes with spices, sometimes without spices. That helps a lot with my blood pressure, with my stress hormones and everything. That's called sattvic diet. Okay, it's a special diet like, but then not everybody will march towards it. But you first start with where you are, and then maybe see, okay, I can have organic produce, I can have food that is grown by me, and I will eat and I will cook and eat. I don't want to order outside or get the canned food, that kind of thing.
Well,
Right?
did you grow up since you were very little as a vegetarian?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and would you recommend that to a lot of people, to many?
yeah, yeah, sure. Because a lot of people are grown on information given by their parents, by their culture, by their family, right? But then we kind of wise up. We can to come to know what is good, what is not. Then it's easy for me because we were brought up on the vegetarian diet, and then occasionally we ate some eggs or something, but then I don't eat any of them anymore. After coming to United States, became a vegetarian completely. But it's a personal choice. You see, even if you are eating uh, meat, like many of my patients, what I advise them is go for the lean meat rather than with all the fat and everything. So you got to change according to what your system can agree, and also what kind of job you are doing, what kind of energy you want. Suppose you are living in a remote area in the hills and all that, where you can get only some animals to have the diet. That's something you adjust to it. But generally, you eat as human beings, our gut is made to absorb vegetarian food. Our genes are like that, so we go much towards the most vegetables, especially if you avoid canned food or stored food or traveled food, and you kind of select from the farm markets, right? Organic produce that is there near us, go there and pick up the fruit, because they have brought the vegetables and fruits fresh from the farm, where they kind of plucked it and got it. So we got it within few hours, right? That kind of food. Actually, from the time you pluck from the tree to the time you want to cook, it's going to be 45 minutes or so you know and after it is cooked, you also eat within 45 minutes. That kind of fresh food, seasonal food, is very good for you. I hope I have answered your question, Laura. You see, it's all a question of where we are brought up, who brought us up, and what kind of education they gave us. So, right? Usually, we get stuck with the tasty food of grandma or our mothers and all that, and then we get stuck with that. And also, traditions, festivals, they are all encourage the tasty, nice food. We kind of there's nothing wrong with that. But then what do we do after we learn, okay, this food has a lot of salt, a lot of carbohydrates. Like, we were brought up on the rice. Rice was a staple diet, but it has a lot of curries, a lot of yogurt, milk, and all that, right? So what I did after I got understood that I'm really addicted to this rice and other thing, I cut down the portion of the rice, right? And increase the vegetables and fruits more. So I eat fruit first, then a salad, then curries made up of vegetables, and then I use some yogurt. But the amount of rice has from a heap of rice to it has gone to half a cup of rice. That kind of thing. Then you can. Cheat your tongue also, because we are used to certain taste. You want to do that. That's a good question, Lara. Yeah, that is a choice that we can make. We can assess ourselves, and we can see where you are. That is the layered approach I was talking about. You don't have to imagine to be the perfect. You just want to change a little bit at a time. I tell my patients, I will give you one small change, but that small change, make it as permanent as possible. And they do that, and then they kind of get into trouble with it. Then they come and ask me, then further suggestions will be given, and like that you can do that yourself. You can look at what are the pillars of wellness, like a food. I want to have a vital nutrition. The second pillar is movement. How do I move my body, exercise? And third is, how do I rest and sleep my body? And the fourth one is, how do I rest my mind in this information age? So take those four pillars and see where you are, and adjust slowly. It's a it's one thing to eat or to do whatever we want unconsciously. It's another thing to bring our consciousness, our control on what is happening. Being patient, what I'm eating, how I'm eating, how much quantity I'm eating. All these things you can be aware of, right? Right away. Nobody need to tell you. And then once you are aware of it, then you know I'm eating this too much because I'm habituated to it or addicted to it, or I'm missing out on some things that are important for me to eat. So natural solution is eat seasonal food, eat multicolored combination. We know all this. I think many of them, I'm just using an example of how to aware of your own lifestyles and bring proactive measures that you could implement in your diet. So I only read 10 questions today. There are like 30 questions came. I'm sure more questions will be coming because I don't do only mobile. I do it on the YouTube and LinkedIn, Facebook, and sometimes Instagram too. So there are different groups of people, different places. There are only 9 people on mobile, but the other people will be on the YouTube and they will be sending me DM messages. Yeah, that's why I compiled all of them together and I selected the top 10 and I will give you those top 10. Okay? You can go back to these questions and see the answers and get more clarity about what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about even changing the entire society. I'm talking about individual person, what he can do, what she can do. So, Melissa, what do you say? Melissa Brent, calling Melissa Brent. So it's a program ongoing thing, and I just want to be your friend along the way. And if you start and then examining yourself in the 5 layers I described to you, you will figure out a lot of things for yourself, and then start applying them. It's like an ongoing thing. It's not like a you have to owe me anything. You have to, anything. Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Dr. Rao, I just had to come up and say you're already my friend, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
A wonderful person, and you are definitely in my friend group.
Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is, I gave a lecture this morning, very serious one. I think you'll hear it several times because I want to start a movement of this proactive wellness, where Melissa, for example, looks at her life and see what are the wellness measures that are known to modern science and the ancient wisdom I can bring in that I'm missing out on. See, makes sense?
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking about a discussion we had previously, and I told you how I do acupuncture, and you told me that I could like learn where I wouldn't need to go and have the acupuncture done. Like I could do that with like breath work. Is that what you're saying? Like just by breathing, I could release that tension in those different places.
And also acupressure, how you compress your prana shakti, that is the energy in the body, that is what is manipulated by the yoga breathing or acupuncture. They manipulate with the needles, and so that your energy channels are cleaned up. you know you can do that when this is severely blocked, but if it is mildly blocked, you can release it by your breathing exercises. One of them I show, ma, you kind of seeing the sound, the resonance from the sound by your own voice releases the block.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I've never.
And I do that in the morning.
Had an experience where that has happened to me, but
Melissa, I do that in the morning routine.
It sounds great.
Morning routine, I do that part of the breathing exercises. Go to the recordings and you will see them. Okay, I tell them, I invite them. Don't listen to me. You do it. Like for example, I say ah. You say the ah in your own private time. That resonance of the sound within you unleashes the energy.
I also agree with what you had said about how modern medicine only treats symptoms and it doesn't really deal with underlying issues, and especially like if you have chronic concerns or conditions, they just want to like
that
slap
is
a Band-Aid and send you home,
Yeah, that is what led me to this, Marisa, because I practiced internal medicine for 40 some years, right? And most of the time in the beginning, I was only treating the symptoms. Then I said, no, you should not be like this. You should be preventing these things. Then I treated them for the blood pressure, but I also told them what can help you to do at home: enough rest, stress-free living, and deep breathing, these kind of things, right? So then I saw chronic disease getting worse in America, And now we are paying $1 out of $5 to the healthcare. So what I am contributing here is you can treat illness when people are ill, but try to treat them before they get ill. That is there. We have the means. My own life, I recovered from a serious stroke, but I'm now living such a way I don't take any medication. But I am very healthy. So it's a kind of understanding that people can improve their wellness when they are well and maintain the wellness by doing proactively. This is where I bring in the ancient wisdom and also modern science together.
So I know you and Laura were talking about vegetarian. Is that something that you're saying, like, for people to live live in a healthy manner, they need to embrace that kind of
No,
eating pattern?
not necessarily, not necessarily, because you could be a non-vegetarian, but you have to see what is the fatty thing that you are taking. Like a lean meat, for example, if you eat that, you have protein, but at the same time you don't have the bad fat. And also, if you are really going to the complete vegetarian progressively, you would definitely see the change in your health. But it depends upon so many things: your habits, your culture, your availability of the food. So many things are there, right? So just observe how much I'm eating each one. Do I load up a lot of this fatty, oily, salty food or not? That kind of thing. Vegetarian is not like a virtue, it's more like a people are used to that for centuries, right? It's not like a must for you, but generally the scientific understanding also, genetically we are more compatible with the vegetables and fruits, not with the DNA of the animals. And that's why there's a conflict. There's a lot of problems with the cancer and everything also with the red meat. Those things are there. That's why we tell them healthy food is such that is seasonal food, that is fresh from the trees and the plants, that you eat as much as possible. Don't cook them, or don't cook too much. Cook only limited, and then if you consume the food, fresh food, seasonal food, that's the healthiest food. And also how you consume. When you consume, that's important too. If you are hungry and then you are eating, you have a better chance of absorption better, digestion better, and all your waste products also will come out faster that way. But if you eat stored food or food traveled from Africa, for example, and then you are eating 3 months later because it's a convenience, that's not good. That doesn't have the vital energy. That's why I go for the fresh market, farm market food. And also we cook very quickly. We don't want to store in the refrigerator for too long. That kind of trying to preserve the natural vitality of the foods is something that we could easily do. Okay, if not with everything, at least some of them we can do. It is doesn't mean you restrict all the foods, but you listen to your body. Suppose you are getting heavy, you are gaining weight, and then certain foods are going to give you weight, you're going to avoid them, right? That is the proactive wellness measure I'm talking about. It's not about only food, it's about how you move, how you keep your mind, how you rest your body, and how you have the harmony with other human beings and friends, and also how you have harmony with the nature. So many things are involved in being well, right, as a modern person. But you can take the wisdom of the ancients and apply that in this day and age where you need a calm mind, you need a thoughtful, focused mind that's not going all over the thoughts. Yeah, we talked about this. If you have a focused mind that is really using thought, and then it can relax from it instead of carrying them as memories and then all that. You can have learn lessons, but don't have to live in the data. Don't go live in the past and it is already done because you're psychologically addicted to that memory. It's that kind of thing. So there are so many ways. Ancient showed you how to have a calm mind, very compassionate heart, and also how to protect the earth and all. Those measures are important for us now. We are in the climate crisis. We have this mental illness going up. We have so much of chronic illness, even though we're spending a lot of money. So there's what is wrong is that we are focusing on the wrong end. We should be focusing on the beginning of the illness before the illness begins. That is my focus. Proactive wellness is you are born well, for example, you protect that from the beginning. Okay, the more you know, suppose you are a mother, you have kids, and the more your kids will be healthier. The sooner you teach them all these wellness measures, the better they are, right? That's what I'm talking about. As we probe into our life slowly, according to those 5 layers of body I talked about, and you will find, do I have enough strength in my body to do I have enough energy, or is my attention span is good, or am I sleeping well or not? And also, do I use the wisdom that I already know? How much people know about this oily food is bad? How much people know about the salty food is bad? But they may not be paying attention. This is drawing them to the attention of preserve your wellness if you are well. Understand how to do that and actually do that. So it's a question of education, empowering yourself with the right information, and applying that information in your lifestyles. That is what the proactive wellness. We are being proactive about your wellness by adopting changes, uh, not because somebody else said, but you understood, you realize that's a good thing. Understand? So I have gathered a number of questions from different people, but I didn't want to uh, discuss all of them at once. So these 10 questions I picked up. What is it? Why it is needed? Why we should adopt? Who should adopt? What about the clinic? All those things. So I thought that was relevant. That's why I discussed them. Anybody else apart from Rachel and Melissa? You can come up, Melissa, if you have more to ask me about. Consider them and then go and listen to my talk this morning. That will give you more idea about what I'm talking about. This is not a simple thing. Involves the culture, involves the vast systems of healthcare currently. So it's like a commentary from a seasoned physician like me who has seen so much illness and also see other side where you can be well without being ill. It's not that just because you are old, you have to have chronic illnesses. That's a myth. That's something that we kind of brought on ourselves because proper education, proper keeping of ourselves well. Okay? You don't have to be obese. That means you are not knowing how to burn the calories, or you are stuffing up too many calories like that, right? But there's so much involved as human beings, your own image, your own understanding of who you are. So many things are involved. One spectrum is just to be well and live long and happy and joyful. Other step is really go to the deeper level of you as a human being and realize that, and then be joyful all the time, irrespective of what kind of problems you have outwardly. That is there too. Okay. But I don't want to go to that depth right away. You all know that I'm basically spiritually oriented person, and self-realized persons are the highest health. To realize who you are, that you are not just the body and mind, takes your own time, and some people may be quick, some people may be wrong. That's not the aim here. Aim is here, can you live a life that is free of illness or reduced illness or not intense illnesses, and reduce your suffering and also improve your happiness and joy and peace as you live through, and also contribute to life. Okay, so that's a real intention. It is a noble intention, and that is important for us doctors to be able to help the health and wellness of the patients. That's what I'm doing. Okay, it's a very commonsensical thing to do. It's a very easy thing to do. No money really involved. Only thing is willingness to learn, taking responsibility for our own self and our wellness, and being sincere about it, and learning about it, empowering yourself with information, and apply that wisdom that you learn into your daily lifestyles. Then you will see results for yourself. You will save on the suffering, you will save on the time you have to spend in the hospital, you will save enormous amount of money, and you will be better enjoying your life, whether you are working, whether you have relationships, whether you have contributing something. You can do all that, much better. So this is like a fundamental thing. Be well and do everything. To be well, we need to do proactively certain things. It's not just only right eating and right moving and sleeping and all that. But these days, with the information age, you got to know how to manage your thoughts, how to manage your emotions. Who is having the thoughts, who is having these emotions. That is the inner self. Settle down in that, then you can be having a very calm mind, not react to emotionally, and that really helps you a lot in your energy management too. That's going to be a big deal because they're spiritually oriented. You are a spiritual being going through the human experience. But many people, they were just human beings who are going to reach that height of spirituality later. So, no, you're already a spirit. You are already having that inner compassion, inner consciousness acting as your own inner spirit, your own compass. I want you to make that as your compass, inner compass, and then manage the materialist things. Okay? So, any doubts, any questions on these questions or the topic I did this morning? You can come up. Uh, we can stay here for a few more minutes. But this is not going to be a one day thing. This is like you come back to it again and again. So I'm going to talk about this topic at different directions. I will go to give you more detail about what I'm doing with organizations, health systems. I'm going to talk to you about governments, what they are doing. I'm going to talk to you about the small retreats I'm going to do so that you can come and learn about this. And you can also get a facilitator. So suppose you are doing that well, and then you have understood these principles and then applying them in your life and seeing the results, you are encouraged to spread it around the family, friends, and all that. Then you are a facilitator. So you'll get a certificate for that if you do them and if you were able to do the metrics. All this doesn't require any money. What it requires is awareness, alertness, and really learning the resilience by following the measures. And then proving that one, then you are branded as facilitator of this proactive wellness movement. See, my aim is to make this a movement that each person takes. They may not take completely, right? That's okay. They will take at least one principle. Suppose Peter was saying me, deep breathing changed him, and he was doing once a hour. Now he wants to do more. So that kind of results you will see for yourself, and you say, okay, by eating better, by eating fresher, by eating seasonal, by eating only when I'm hungry, and by eating chewing the food when I'm eating, all these wellness measures you have employed in your lifestyle, and then you will see the results of that by yourself. Then you kind of show me by metrics how these things have improved. Then you are following, you are implementing them, and you have become the facilitator of this movement. That's all. So as you learn about this, as you understand about this, as you implement about this, various questions will be there, because people are beginning, they want to understand what is this PAW mean, and why should we do it when the healthcare system is there. That is the mistaken thing. People think healthcare of yours, wellness of yours, is not somebody else's responsibility. You cannot do that with the modern health systems now, because there's a lot of revenue, a lot of greed, lot of mechanical treatment is going on. There are so many things they encourage that are not good for you. Okay, they say, okay, come once in a year for preventive screening and all that. That may be too late sometimes. Why can't you be preventive every day? Why can't you understand where you stand in terms of your body strength, flexibility, and in terms of your chemistry of the blood, urine, and all that? Why can't you understand that you are getting stressed out, reactive very quickly? All these things, you just need a keen observation and awareness. That I want to inspire on that. You know, by living it, by communicating it, by encouraging it, also providing direction when you need it. But it's up to you to use that. Okay. I know you guys attend 200, 300, 400, 500 people on talks that are, I see these issues are not completely discussed with depth. Explaining your day experience and doing all that's all okay, but spend some time for this on a daily basis. Maybe 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening. Consider how is my wellness is doing. Do I follow all that I know, or I just learned it and forgot about it? Am I doing habitually in a fashion that my awareness is not there, but my compulsive habits are taking over? So this kind of thing. So you don't have to spend the entire day on this, but spend in the morning, determined to be well, and then wellness measures through the day. It could be like I will go to park my car at the gate and walk to the building which is far away. That could be a wellness measure that you can apply. Or I'm going to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Things like that. I'm going to drink water. I'm going to practice deep breathing. I'm going to keep quiet in the meetings. I let everybody talk, then only I will talk. Simple things like that. So on a daily basis, you can improve yourself slowly. Okay. Don't expect too much right away, because the habits that you taught your body or your mind, they kind of take a long time to be uprooted. Okay. You get only train the good things on the top of the habits that you have. Thereby the old habit will go, the new habits. That's why I tell my patients, change something small, but make that small change permanent change, not going back again. You won't get anything out. Hopefully, you all see the spirit with which I am doing here. I want you all to be well long time, and well in joyous state. And hopefully, you take this movement serious and participate by learning the principles and applying them in your life. That's all. You don't have to give me any writing or anything like that. Just do it for your own sake. And then if you get the results, that's when I'm going to be happy. Okay? Bye bye.